Well, hey, and welcome to Homegrown Journey. If we're being honest, hi, Mom. Hi, Grandma. If you're not one of those two people, my name is Alyssa Paul. I'm a wife to my best friend, Jordan, and we have 4 wonderful children. Summer's over, school has started, and whether you're excited about that or dreading that, it's here. And we're doing the Charlotte Mason method of homeschooling for our children. I'll try to clarify a few things as I go, but this isn't like a what is the Charlotte Mason method video. This is like what we're doing using her method this year. But if you're familiar with her method, then you know she doesn't recommend starting formal lessons until age 6 when they start year 1. We're also using Ambleside Online, which is a wonderful free resource, very true to Charlotte Mason. A lot of good resources if you're interested in using that method for your children. Year 1 is pretty intense. I looked at it this year just to try to gauge where we needed to be for next year. And I was a little overwhelmed, I'm not gonna lie. So between feeling like if we go from doing just about nothing to jumping into year 1 being too overwhelming for both me and for him, and the fact that my son is a walking brain and he needs the stimulation, he needs the structure, he thrives on it. I decided we're going to modify year 1 and we're going to do year 0.5. So I will walk you through what I did to do it's a pretty intense year 0, but it's a very laid back year 1. Alright, so the first thing I did is I went on Ambleside Online and I clicked on their year 1 schedule. And if you click on a doc link, you can edit it and get it how you want it before you print it. So I deleted a lot of the things that we're not going to do since we're not doing year 1 yet. But I kept some of the subjects that we are going to do and then just modified them for what we're doing. So, we have math, handwriting, copywork, phonics, reading, foreign language. It says recitation. I forgot to change it to narration, but that's narration. Weekly work, we're going to do art, a little bit of geography, nature study, and a hymn every week. For math, you have to outsource. So for math, we outsource to Saxon Math, and we're starting year 1. This is an awesome curriculum. I'm really, really excited about it. I think it will be really good for him. I think this will be both challenging and very engaging for him. I didn't bother placing him in the book. There's some placement tests you can use to see where your child might be in the book, and you can just pick up there. I just started from lesson 1, and even though it's very simple and it's mostly just writing letters and doing things that he can do very easily, I thought the extra practice on things he knows how to do can't hurt. Even if it's just writing his letters, identifying shapes, counting, it very quickly gets to more complicated things. So I thought there's no harm in just starting at the beginning and moving through it, maybe even a little bit faster. I know we did 2 lessons one of the days because it was just so easy for him and we had the time, but I don't feel like we need to rush through it. I got this math notebook, which I think will come more in handy as we start doing more problems, keeping his rows straight for addition and subtraction, just adding up numbers, or just having a neat visual for where each number is. But we have that right now. We're just counting through it. It's just more versatile. We can use it for whatever we need to for math. So we're doing Saxon Math. We're also doing handwriting and copy work, which I'm using My Father's World for. I like it okay. I'm not using the whole curriculum as it's meant to be used. I don't do any of the crafty things, and I really don't do anything with these pages. What I do is I look at the week. We do, for this week it's the dinosaur, big and small God made them all. So they're learning that. We do the verse. If there's a poem, I read the poem. We really enjoy those. And then I just do the copywriting pages for the week, which have been really helpful in learning how to read for him. This is the sound discrimination page. This week is the letter D. We have drum, donut, duck, 4, phone, doll, boot, I'm assuming tomatoes. I don't know, but either way, just start with the letter D. And he's supposed to circle the words or the pictures that do start with the letter D and cross out the ones that do not start with D. It's practice listening for that sound, and then we do the practice writing. So we do those handwriting and copywork pages from this curriculum, and then I'm using their system of learning how to read, which is with this blend ladder, and this has worked amazing. He's actually reading now, which is really exciting. So I had these all covered, and we were just starting with the letter A, sound A, and I put these little letters here, and he just learns how to sound them out. So ra, ra, and we would just play a game where basically I would try to trick him, and he would, be getting it right, and I'd be like so surprised every time he got it. Ha, ha, ta. And then when he got so good, I couldn't trick him anymore, then I would place a letter at the end. And I kind of placed it far away at first because I wanted him to focus on the blend still. So cat, cat, cat. And then it just all clicked for him. It was so exciting. So he's sounding words out now, which is so exciting. So right now we're kind of doing A and U words. I'm sure he could sound out all these ones, but I'm trying to still just go very slow and not go too fast because I really want things to cement in rather than just go for speed and things maybe not click as well. I also use their flashcards. They're super cute. My other two kids, my 2.5-year-olds, they love doing these too, and they're actually learning just with the repetition. We do these like every morning. We sit around the breakfast table and penguin, vegetable, and they love them. So we use the flashcards daily too. It's been very helpful with just recognizing the letters and getting the sounds. And then I have the little thing that they have you learn on the back for the ones that we have done. And I think those are just nice little talking points. So this is what we're doing for phonics, language, copywork. I'm using this program for those things, and it works great for that. I like it for that. What I'm doing for foreign language is we're doing French. Obviously, a lot of people probably do Spanish, but our family's doing French. So I have this beautiful Speaking French with Ms. Mason and Francois. We're doing a series for probably 3 weeks. So the very unique method this book uses is you learn a series of steps in one task. So I take the book, I open the book, I close the book, and then you learn them in French. So there's the English version, there's the French version. We have the audio that goes with this too, which is really great just to cement listening to it with doing the action, acting it out, saying it. So we'll do one series, which is one task every 3 weeks. So we'll stay on it for a while and just try to get really good at it. And they have other things too, like I can ask them, what are you opening? What are you closing? What are you doing? Watch me. What are you opening? What are you closing? What are you doing? They have, or I open the notebook, I open the wallet. So as they learn more verbs and nouns, they should be able to start mixing them a little bit better. And then for vocabulary, we're doing this book, which is such a cute book. I love this book. It has these really adorable pictures. It has the word in French, the pronunciation of the word, which is surprisingly very accurate and helpful for words that I don't need to quickly go look up. And then obviously the word English. And they have it's divided into sections. So we have, land animals, and then we have sea animals, and then there's farm animals, school items, colors. So we're going to do one section a week of essentially vocabulary with the pictures and pronunciation. I'm hoping that will help build the vocabulary enough that we can use some of these words with this and even add in some phrases that we already know and hopefully be able to start putting things together, which will be really exciting. So that's foreign language. For narration, not recitation, I thrifted this Aesop's Fable, and we're going to do one fable a week. So I will read it to him, We'll read through it together, and then when I'm done, I will ask him to narrate it back to me. And as he narrates back to me, I'm going to write exactly what he says in this book. This will be a narration notebook. So we've already done This Was Family Robinson and Paul Bunyan. I have extra space here because I want to do one fable and then like one other book. So like this week we're going to do Mike Fink. And then I didn't want to like pick all my books for the rest of the 12 weeks. So I'm just going to write it in, pick one book a week. So one fable and one book a week of narration. It's a really good skill to practice with your kids. It helps them be able to articulate their thoughts into sentences, and eventually that'll translate into writing. For Bible, I'm not going to read through the Bible with him for school because we do that as a family at night. So I'm going to continue working through this Truth and Grace book with him. These are really awesome books if you have kids. We have already started going through them, but they're catechisms that really help your children learn how to articulate their faith and why they believe what they believe. There's scripture references too you can look up if you want to do more of a deep dive for each one. But it's kind of like learning your math tables so that you can do more complex math. It's the basics. So like, who made you? God made me. What else did God make? God made all things. Just really good questions and answers. They get harder as you go along. And there's a spot in the back of the book for you to sign off on them as they learn them, they complete them, catechism questions, 5 at a time. There's scripture memory verses too, and then hymns that you can learn with your children. They have them in here too. We have learned all those. We use them in our family worship time. And then I also thrifted this really cool treasury of hymns from 1956. It's so cool. And we're going to learn one hymn a week out of here to add into our family worship time. So I have that on here too. I picked one for every week, including we're going to do the Star Spangled Banner. I know that's not a Christian hymn, but it is our national anthem. So I really want him to learn that. For nature study and art, those kind of go together. I have this book, The Lost Art of Reading Nature Signs. And I haven't read it through, but I have looked through it extensively and I'm really excited about it. There's so much information in here. I imagine we'll skip around topic to topic, but like the phases of the moon, learning how to tell time based on where the sun is and shadows, and animal tracking, the moss and where it is on the trees, and just all the information you can get from just learning how to read the weather in nature. This will be really fun to do with him. And then our art, I got him this beautiful watercolor book that's bound. It's really nice. This is where he'll put all his masterpieces in. Once a week, we will sit down and do one specific YouTube tutorial on these things. I went through and I found them and I saved them all. So these are like specific ones I've already saved for us to do. So like this week we'll do a whole tree and a leaf. So say we do a maple tree, we might paint the maple tree here and then paint like a close-up of a maple leaf here. And we'll sit down, we'll watch a YouTube tutorial, we'll do it together. And that masterpiece of his will be in this book. So this will be his book of all his masterpieces. But I also let him dabble on just regular watercolor paper. Like this is when I was just letting him use different brushes and do strokes with them to see like what kind of lines he could make. And then we were having a contest to see who could make the thinnest line so that he could understand how to make his lines smaller or thicker or darker, and we were practicing gradients and different textures. So this is essentially where we do all of our scribbling and our practicing, because I don't want all of those in his nice book. And we'll try to coordinate some of the painting with the nature study that we're doing. For geography, I'm not doing anything crazy. Over the course of the next 12 weeks, I just want him to learn the concepts of north, south, east, west, and like the northeast, northwest, etc. And then we're going to just talk about North America, where it is on the map. I'd like him to be able to find North America on a world map. And then the different climates, like the grasslands, the savanna, the forest, the woodlands, and I might let him watch like a good National Geographic video of each one just to dip his toes into like how they're different, how the temperatures are different, what different animals are in each one, and dip his toes into how there's different climates around the world. But that's all we're going to try to accomplish with geography. No homeschool curriculum would be complete without your own homework. So here's mine. I've already started reading home education. I started this a couple years ago and I just haven't finished it because we have expanded our family quite rapidly in the last 3 years. So that's why. But I started reading this 2 years ago. It is such a good book. If you do want to do Charlotte Mason's method, I think you definitely need to read her works. That's the best way to understand her method, and she just has so many good tips in here. I've been underlining and highlighting stuff, making notes. It's a really good resource, and I don't think there's a good substitute for her actual works themselves. So I'm going to finish this book. It's really good so far. And then this is another very popular book amongst the Charlotte Mason sphere. For the children's sake, I'd like to read this book too before the 12 weeks are up. So this is my homework, and I think it will be very enriching for us and also beneficial as we continue our homeschool education with the Charlotte Mason method. I know these videos can get kind of long just because there's so much to go through, but I tried to go through it as quickly as I could and give as many good details as possible without not chatting too much. So hopefully that was a good balance for you. If you're in a similar position as I am for this video, I'd love to hear what you're doing. I think we can all learn from each other. I think that's the beauty of homeschooling. It's a little different for everybody. Nobody's homeschool curriculum or flavor is the same, and that's the best. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another video.